Hello, my friends. Today we're learning about Daf Hayomi. So we learned in the Mishnah about the distances that you have to keep when you have certain things in your chotzer from the wall of your neighbor. So we learned that it's where you do the washing. It's like these bath they do washing. You have to keep 3 tefachim from the wall of the neighbors. Omar Rav Nachman, Omar Rabba Baravua. Lo yishanu that you keep 3 tefachim away. Elo min hamachamtzon. That's because he used to have two types of pools. One that the clothes sit in it and for a few days and they soak, and then another one that they scrub and it makes a big mess of water all over the place. So that's from the chamtzon there where it soaks, you need 3 tefachim. Aval min hanadion, that's where you scrub it and the water goes all over the place. Taled amas, you need to keep 4 amas away from the wall. Tani nami ochi, I'll bring your eye from the brides and ivreches akoisin taled amos. Not like our Mishnah, but Anot Nan Gimel Tfachim Mecharit Stira. And Olav Shema Minok, Rav Nachman, that the difference is 2 types. There's Nadion, that you need to keep 4 amas, and the Nivrachas HaKoifsim, that you need to keep only 3 Tfachim. The Ika de Romi Lo Mirmer, some people learn it, this whole thing, we learned that Rav Nachman said something, on Borai from the bicycle to steer to the Mishnah must be like Rav Nachman. Some people learn it different. They ask a kasha from the Mishnah to the Bryce, and they bring Rav Nachman as a teretz. Let's see it inside. Bike de Romi Lo Mirmer, Nani Verachas HaKoifsim Gimel Tfachim, or Batani and the Bryce Arba Amois. Now, Rav Nachman, no, Omar Rav Barbo Lo Ikasha, Kalmin Amachamtzon, Kalmin and Nadion. Says the Gemara, Rav Avia Masnilo Behedia. He says that by him it says in his brisa clearly the difference between the chamtzon and the nadion. It says Elohim ken irchik misvat mechamtzon lakoisel gimel tfachim. It says clearly not nivreches hakoisim. It says mechamtzon that specifically there you need 3 tfachim, but from the nadion you need 4 amas. We learned in the first cases of the Mishnah. Let's read it inside. Loyach for Odom Boris Sobot Boris Shechaver Lo Yisiach V'Lo Yimorov V'Lo Yam Hasamayim V'Lo Nechas Koiksim. When can you? Elohim Kain Irchik and Koisek Chavero Yishloshet Tfachim. He kept the distance of 3 Tfachim. V'Sod Basid. And you also not only kept away, you put plaster on the wall. And then we learned the other thing that you have to keep away, the gefes zevel, and also you keep 3 tefachim away, and also the sod besid, you have to put on the plaster on the wall. So now the Gemara asks, Iboilu or Shaila, the sod besid, man, do you really, like it says in our Mishnah, they have to keep 3 tefachim plus you need to sod besid, or you do oy sod besid now? Or do the Mishnah say keep 3 tefachim away, or don't keep 3 tefachim but put plaster? Do you need both or not? So the Gemara, Pshita de Vesod Vesitna, and it must be that it means also, not only you have to keep 3 tefachim, also you have to put plaster, the Isal Kedaito. If you want to tell me it means Oisod Basid, that means Nanim Kein Larvinu Velisninu. Why didn't it say it together with the later thing that we said over there, also Vesod Basid? Because over there, the way we're learning that the second place where it says Yogur is Oyisod Basid. And therefore, it must be over here, doesn't mean Oy at the first case, because if it would mean Oy like the second case, you should put them all together. Why do they separate them in 2 cases in the Mishnah? Elobai, that's the difference between the 2 categories. One, or that 3 tefachim or Sod Basid, and one of them, you need both. So the Gemara, no, Dilma Mishum Deloy Domi. The reason why it's separate categories is because the hezek is a different type of hezek. Reisha Ezeka the metuna of wetness, of cold. Seifa Ezeka the avla of heat that comes out of the items over there. So it's a different type of hezek. That's why it's in 2 different categories. It's not muchach, but the halacha is different. Toshma, come and listen. Rabbi Yudoim Yosela Abo Be'odayim. If you have a land that the land is very weak and not put together, you can dig easily and it's like sand. Each one has to, he can build his borough in his field on the border, but he needs to, he has to keep away 3 tefachim from the border and also put plaster on it. The whole reason why you need to put also plaster and also 3 tefachim because it's weak earth. Be stronger. It's enough one of them. So have a raya, they don't need both. So the Gemara, no. Really, even if it was a strong field, you need to do 3 tefachim and sod besid. Oh, so why did the Brisa tell me sod besid, especially a weak land? So the Gemara, it's richly, the Chiddush was a weak land. Not that because it's a weak land, you need extra caution. No. To tell you, because it's a weak land, and you don't need anything extra in any land. Since it's a weak land, you need to keep more than 3 tefachim and sod besid like you normally need. Kamash mala, no, that it's enough. Like any land, 3 tefachim and sod basid, and therefore our shaila, if we go this in the Mishnah, the sod basid or sod basid, we don't have a raya not to here, not to here. We learned in the Mishnah, Marchikim is the waste of the olive, the sazevel, the waste of animal, the samelech and the salt, the sasloim and the rocks. Then also we learned over there in Shabbos, what are you allowed to put? To be toimin, to put in the ground on one of the things that we're going to learn on Shabbos, and what are you not allowed? In toimin, loy begefes, not on the waste of the olives, because it has heatness and it warms the pot. Loy bezevel, no animal waste. Loy bemelach, no in salt. Loy besid, no in plaster. Loy bechoil, no in sand. Here, by us it said rocks. Here it says sand. When we talk about putting next to someone's wall, to the border of his property, you're not allowed rocks. Here it says sand, and we're going to see the Gemara is going to discuss it. Bein lachim doesn't matter if all these things are wet, doesn't matter if we bein yevation. So the Gemara asks, Maishno hocha, by our Mishnah, when they have the list, the ktoni sloim, that you're not allowed to put rocks next to the wall, v'lo ktoni choil, it's mashma choil, you're allowed. Maishno also, why over there in Shabbos, the ktoni choil, v'lo ktoni sloim, and you're allowed to be toimen in the cellar. Omar Rav Yosef, lefi she'en dar krashad me'odom latin b'sloim, it's not the derech to do so, and therefore the Mishnah doesn't mention over there in Shabbos sloim. Asked the Gemara, Omale Abaya asked Rav Yosef, if it's normal for a person to put his pots to keep the wood warm in wool, and different types of wool. The Tanya we learned in the Brisa, toimim, you're allowed to be put toimim because it's different types of wool, and it's not a common thing to do, and I feel it says about it. So I shouldn't talk about sloim. Then metaltinois, and we're not allowed to move them, I think, because of muktzah. But you're allowed to be toimin in it, even though it's not shchiach. The Mishnah tells you, the Brisa tells you, so it can't be that's why it doesn't say sloim. It's a posuk in Yoiv, and it's coming to say his friend is going to tell about him. What does that mean? Sloim here in our Mishnah about our chokah from the koisach haver, it says sloim, and it means also choil because it's the same type of thing, a rock and sand. Over there it says choil, vuadim sloim. Instead of writing both times choil and sloim, you learn from each other. If because we see they together, they have a connection, you can learn from its friends. Right in one of the Mishnayos, all over here in Baba Basra, all in the one of Shabbos, all the list of things, Vefes, Koifris, Melach, etc. And let's say by us only write one of them, only Melach, and with no Yagid al like over there in Shabbos, it's a whole list. So also here in Baba Basra, it's a whole list where you need to be marked from Koisel Chaveri. The reason why in Shabbos I'm talking about being toimen in the cellar, because to put your pot on the rock, it's ruining it, it could break. You're not going to do it. No one does that, so that's why it's not mentioned. You know why by us it doesn't say that you need to be marchik choil? That if they're next to hot, they get hot. If they're next to cold, they get cold. But they don't cause the wall to change. Yeah, Rashi explained that when it's atmona, if you put in sand the pot, it's going to keep it warm. But to put it next to the wall, it doesn't cause any damage to the wall. Telling more about Tani Rabbi Ishia Choy. Rabbi Ishia does say in his brisa that you're not allowed to put sand next to the wall of your friend, and you're telling me it's not causing damage. So the Gemara also be metuna wet sand. So the Gemara, if so, why don't our Mishnah say about sand that's wet? Say sand, and we know only wet sand. So the Gemara, no, it says amasamayim, so we know already wetness causes damage. So also wet sand is a type of wetness. You're not allowed to have it close to Ritfachim. So the Gemara, it does. If you're telling me you don't want to say because it's the same like water, but there's other two types of water. There's one a washing place and one when you pass a channel of water, they're not allowed to be 3 tefachim near the wall. And you don't say, oh, learn one from each other. So why did this one we do learn one from each other? So the Gemara, no, these two nivreches hakoifsim, a washing place and the channel where the water flows through, you need them because you can't learn one from each other. Why is that? If it would say only the flowing water, it's all year long, it goes, so it causes damage. Where you do the washing, only sometimes there's water over there. Maybe you don't need archaka. If it would only say about the washing place, because they sit in one place. When water sits in one place, it looks too wet to run away and it pushes to the side and it finds cracks and it causes damage. Where the water is flowing, maybe you'd think the amasamayim, the din is you don't have to have archoka because it's always flowing. That's why the Mishnah has to tell you these two types of water because you could learn one from each other. But the other case of water of wet sand, you don't need to tell you. So the Gemara, we learned in the Mishnah, you have to keep, you can't plant seeds 3 tefachim close to the wall of your neighbor and not go with the plow, dig in the ground because you cause it damage. You said you're not allowed to plant seeds. To plant, you need to plow. So already before you plant it, you do a machresha, and you're not allowed to do that. So why do you need to tell me that you're not allowed to do zera? So the Gemara, you know what? Because you could plant like people plant today. They dig a little bit of the hand or a little tool, and they plant, and they don't go over machresha over ox. So you could do it. So if it would say only machresha, you'd think, oh, with your hand you could plant. No, you're not allowed to plant 3 tefachim near the wall of your neighbor. Says like more machresha. Why does it tell you that it's also to do in machresha? But people claim why are you plowing? To plant. You're anyway not allowed to plant. So why do you need to tell me that you're not allowed to plow? So the more bechorish leilonois. But there's two types of plowing. There's a plowing to plant seeds, and there's a plowing that's good for trees that make the roots airy and makes the earth good. So even if you have a tree a little bit away, you want to plow there, you're not going to plant there any seeds, but still it's forbidden. You're going to water over there. If you have zroim and a thing, what are you doing? Or the trees, what are you going to do there? You're going to water that place. And water, you're not allowed to put by the wall of your friend. So the Gemara Tonaber is Yisrael Koi, the Tana of this Mishnah was in Eretz Yisrael, the Chsiv that says about Yisrael, Amoto Shamayim Tishtemayim, that the land drinks from the rain of the sky. So you don't need to water it. It's naturally, I'd have to stop the rain from going through Tfach next to his wall. It's not my fault. Said the Gemara, the main word is Roim. You want to tell me that Roim komishtarshi, that Stodim komishtarshi, you test on base. You want to tell me Lechera that the Roim go to the sides, and that's why the roots cause damage to the wall, and that's why you have to keep 3 tefachim away. But man, we learned in the Mishnah, so someone took a grape tree, and it has long, sticks coming out of the grape tree, long branches. He takes this long branch and he puts it back into the ground. It goes into the ground a bit and then it comes back out and it's a new tree. That's called a mavrich. So someone who's mavrich is a gefen ba'oret in the land. If where the branch is going in the earth, there's not 3 tefachim of earth on top of this branch that's going in the ground, you're not allowed to plant on it because it's like kilayim. Even though that could be 10 meters long, this great branch is going. But Tony alone, we learned on that about the rest that starting a little bit, not a direct line on top of where the branch is in the ground, less than 3 tefachim deep, you're not allowed to plant, but from the sides you're allowed to. Heiloch veiloch from both sides. And we are telling me that the roots go to the side, the roots go to the side of Zroim. they'll go where the branches in the ground, and you'll be over kilayim. So the Gemara, Omar of Chaga b'Shem Rav Yosi mifnei shemachlidim es akarpa umalim afot tichoyach. It doesn't mean that the problem of the seeds planting in 3 tefachim next to the wall because the roots go to the side and cause damage to the wall. It's no, they put pressure on the land there and the ground starts breaking up and makes the wall weak. But not because the roots go into the side. It just makes the land weak over there. We learned in the Mishnah of Esmera Glaim, you have to keep the pee of people in a koisel from the wall 3 tefachim, gimel tefachim. Omar Rabba Bar Chana mutar la'odom lashti mayim b'tzad koisel shechaveru. You're allowed to pee on the wall, by the side of the wall of your friend, and you don't have to keep 3 tefachim away. T'chsiv it's in the pasuk v'ichrati la'achov, and I'll destroy ta'achov mashtim bakir. Even someone who pees on the wall, v'atzu v'azu b'Yisrael, even not someone very choshev. But you can see that there's such a musig that if it says by Achov smashed in Bakir, that you're allowed to be mashed in Bakir. Says the Gemara of Anon Tnan Vesmira Glaim in a Koiser Shloshet Tfachim. It doesn't fit with our Mishnah. How could Amora be choilek on a Mishnah? So the Gemara also B'Shoivchin. Our Mishnah is talking about pouring like your whole toilet out when you're emptying your toilet back in the days before you had drainage and you're pouring out. Then you're not allowed to pour it 3 tefachim from the wall of your friend. But if you're just going for a pee, no problem to do it close to the wall. So the Gemara, Toshma lo yashtim odomayim betzad koiser shechaveroi. You shouldn't pee next to the wall of your friend. Elam kin irchit mele gimel tefachim. Only if he kept away 3 tefachim. B'med dvarim amurim. When is it forbidden b'koiser leveinin? When it's a wall made out of bricks. If it's made out of stones, they shouldn't cause damage. How much is the damage? How close could you get? Tefach close to the wall of your friend. If it's not just stones, it's like a proper rock, a strong thing. Mutter, you're allowed to even pee onto it. Rabba Bar Chana said it's mutter or every time. And here we can see that depends. If it's a very hard rock, okay, but if it's stones, you have to keep a tefach. If it's the vein 3 tefachim away, not like Rabba Bar Chana said. Said the Gemara of Rabba Bar Chana krokom. He brought pasuk Aryeh from Achov that says they're mashtim bakir. Said the Gemara hosa mochikoma. That's pshat. Afilu midi didarki lashtuni bakir. Even what is normally a type of creature, a type of being that pees on the wall, lo yishafkin alei. Achov won't have left in his possession, in continuation. Mainu Kalba, even his dogs are all going to get killed. That's how bad Achov, not only his generations, his family, his dogs will all get killed. Omar of Tovi Bar Kisna, Omar Shmur, Rokik. If you have a Rokik, it's like a type of thin, type of matzah or something. If you put it in a window, there's different dinim of tumah, how big the window is. Does the window bring in tumah from the room next door or not? So if you put a rocket over there, it doesn't make the window any smaller. It's not misbattle. Frag the Gemara, rocket, why do it say dafka rocket that's thin? I feel of even if it's thick, nami, it shouldn't, it's not mevatel, it's not part of the window. So the Gemara, lomi boy korma. It's telling you, Chiddush, even rockik is no mevatel. Loimi boy over, not only over came that you put on the window, you're going to take it because it doesn't get destroyed by putting on the window. It's fake. The top doesn't even touch the bottom of the window. Loimi mevatel, and therefore it's not part of the window. But rockik, the mamis, when you put on the window, it becomes not. You can't really eat it. Ema bitul mevatel, it's mevatel to the window, so make the shear of the window smaller. Kamashmal or not. Telling more of a tepukle daveli dover shomikabel tuma, it's food, and it's been water touched it. We call dover shomikabel tuma in a choitzet. It's something that's mikabel tuma. It's a choitzet, and it's food that water touched. It should be mikabel tuma. In a choitzet from tuma shavik. More shenilash b'mei perus. It's so much where it was made not from water. It was made from like apple juice, and then it's not mikabel tuma because only when water touches it, it's mikabel tuma. We have a kasha kupa melei teven. You have a big box full of hay, the chavis melei groigros, and a barrel full of dry figs, and they're not muchshel to mikabel tuma yet. And munochim b'chaloin, they're all sitting on the window. Royim kol she'ilu inotlu. If you take away the barrel and the box, and that amount of figs or the hay could stand by itself in a pile, that's considered the chatzitza, that part they could stand by itself without the box. If not, if they can't stand by themselves, it's not chatzitza from the Torah. We said that the rocket you might take, it's not mevutal, but teven chazile be'emtoi. You're going to use the teven for giving to feed the animals. So why the chatzitza? Why is it any different than rocket? So the Gemara, it's talking about bechaz besaria. It's talking about where it's already rotten. You're not going to give it to the animal. So the Gemara chazile tina. You can make brick out of it. So you're not mevatel it. You're going to use this hay. So the Gemara know these bekoitzi has thorns in it, and you're not going to use it to make bricks. So the Gemara chazila asaka, you could light your fire with it, so you're going to take it. So the Gemara matuna, it's wet, so you can't light your fire with it. So the Gemara chazila asegodel, if you have a big fire, you can put it in the fire to make the fire even bigger, and that's wet. The fire is big enough to take all the wetness out. So the Gemara has said godel, someone who's making a big fire, lo shchiach, it's not shchiach the thing, and therefore it's not considered you're going to use it, and therefore it's bottled to the window and it's chatzitza. Groi, said the Gemara, the dried figs, the chovele, you could use it to eat, or mashmur b'shei, it's truthful that they got all wormed up, they're full of worms, so you're not going to eat it. V'chein toni rabba ba'avro b'shei, truthful that it became full of worms. Okay, we're going to leave it over here. The Gemara continues the sugya. We're going to leave it over here. Thank you very much. We should be all happy and blessed and thankful for all the good we have.